So I've got too many fish here to eat tonight, so I'm going to freeze some. I'm going to put 6 of the smaller ones into one of these heavy-duty bags. So these are freezer bags, not the sandwich bags. And I'm going to put the 2 catfish fillets in there also. And so this is the way I do it. Here's the catfish fillets. And I've washed these a couple times already, but I'm going to go ahead and just wash it one more time. See, there's a little stuff right there, because when I put the ice back over, the ice wasn't clean. So I got 1 catfish fillet in the bag, or I will. Now I've got 1 in the bag, and we're going to get 1 more in the bag. So there we have the 2 catfish fillets. And then I freeze them in solid blocks of water, so I just kind of flatten out the fillet a little bit as best I can. It's not really that important, but and I fill up the bag with water all the way to the top. Okay, then I just kind of start slowly closing it, and this pinches the air out. And I don't want quite that much water in there, so I turn it on its side. And I squirt some of the water out until I get it up to where the rock's flat, which is right about there. Okay, now I've got a nice flat fillet here. I'm going to set these in the freezer, and when they freeze they're going to be surrounded by water, and they will stay good for over a year. I've eaten these. I found them in the bottom of the freezer, cleaning out my freezer, that were over a year and a half old, and served them to unsuspecting friends. The devil in me made me do it. But they were going, wow, when did you catch these? They taste fresh. And when I told them how old they were, they wouldn't believe me. But it's true. It's a true story. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So here we're going to have, oh, let's see. There's a big one. 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll show you one more time how to fill this up. Freeze it up, and then we just fill it up with water again up to the top. Then once you get it filled to the top with water, you start squeezing the seam shut. That squeezes the water out of the top, because you don't want any air in there. And then once you get just a little pinch hole left, turn it on its side and squeeze that air bubble out of there, and try to get till you get the water about flat, which would be right here. Okay, so then what you've got is you've got a nice bag that sits flat that you can put in the freezer, and those will freeze real good just like that. As a matter of fact, I'll show you how to do that. We're going to put these in the freezer. You just need to find a flat spot in the freezer. And I've got one right here. So we've got one there and one there. So now if you look, there's no air bubbles in those fish. And so those are going to freeze up, and once they're frozen, I can transfer them into my deep freeze, and they'll last, again, long enough to where any normal person would eat them before they go bad. So that's the WOP for today. Till we meet again.